Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. Hope you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend. Hope you had a nice little break. We did. You saw that we didn't have a little episode that week. I'm behind on my getting a backlog of episodes, but you know what? I wanted to take a break. I wanted to enjoy my family, and that's what I did. So that's why there wasn't an episode. So my bad, but not really. I wanted to enjoy myself, and that's what we're all about here, is finding that balance between work, family, play, and it just you get that balance, and it just makes for a nice, happy life. So, as always, we're sponsored by Health West. These guys are a great organization. Give them a holler, find where they're closest to you, and see what they can do for you and your loved ones. We're also sponsored by my company, New Clean Commercial Cleaning. If you have any janitorial needs, give us a holler. Give us a call at 208-254-7070. And if you tell us that you heard about us on the podcast, there will be something free coming your way. Bet on it. Okay. So last week, we just finished up we do 90-day employee reviews for my company, New Clean. We do the same thing for other company, commercial cleaning services in my Idaho Falls area. And I know maybe some of you are like, oh man, I've been on those ends of the employee reviews, and sometimes they're not, they're more of a favoritism situation, and it's not a pleasurable experience. Well, I'm here to tell you, I think it's important to do them. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Now, I will tell you some pros right off the bat. As you get to, as your company grows and you get more and more employees, more and more teammates. Number one, you get to meet some awesome and amazing people. We have some amazing people on our staff, and I really cherish the time that I get to spend with them, because we hire with our core values in mind. And many of them are just amazing. Most of them are amazing. There are a few slip by, that just don't make the cut. But most of them are just awesome people that I could see myself hanging out with. And that's why you hire with your core values in mind. Number two reason I love doing these reviews is because we get great ideas and great feedback from our teammates. We are able to put things into practice and procedures into play from the feedback we're getting from these teammates. So it's not just us coming down with a hammer and reviewing them and their metrics. It's like, hey, let's work together as a team. Let's figure out how we can make this organization and this relationship as we work together as a team better as a whole. So, man, those are the kind of the big reasons I enjoy doing these. And as you get bigger, sometimes right now, I think we're over 60, 65 employees for that company. Sometimes I don't get to meet all. They're getting hired on. We have different people. We have delegation happening. So different people are part of different interview processes. And I'm not the one that's in charge of the hiring and having the last say. So there's many that get hired on, and I don't get to meet until we do the 90-day reviews. So when it comes to 90-day reviews, you're probably thinking, okay, well, yeah, that's all fine and well, but how do you organize those? How do you make those worth it for the employees to come in? Well, when I first started doing these, I would go out to the field and try to and find where the employees were while they were working and do it there. And then it became too much of a hassle of running all over the place, and it was crazy. So then we just started scheduling them as a normal shift to come into our offices to have a quick 20, 25-minute review with us. Some of the questions we like to ask, and this is just us. You guys can do however you think and ask the questions you want. But some of the questions you can ask are, how do you feel we can serve you better? This is a question coming from us, the admin, going to our team member. That's the number one question. That's the first question we ask. How can we serve you better? And we mean it. We're not just, it's not here for not just lip service. You have to mean it. And we do. And these, a lot of them, have some great insight. And a lot of times this is where a lot of the great insight comes from. We're like, oh, you know what? I didn't think of it that way. Or, you know what? Our onboarding process could be tweaked a little bit better to make it more of an more of an enjoyment for those people coming on board, whatever it may be. You learn a lot from asking that question. Another question we ask is, how do you feel we can serve the client better? And this is from their perspective. They're out there working at these different locations, serving our clients every day, every night. So again, you're getting more feedback, and it's also ways that we can help them. We want to help our clients. Well, obviously, we want to help our teammates to have the best outcomes that we possibly can, because we're in the employee business. Because if we hire the best employees and maintain and keep the best employees, keeping and maintaining the best clients is going to come. So we're in the talent acquisition business. That's what we always say we are. And then we ask the question, how do you feel you are doing overall? And we can say from score to 1 to 10, 1 being terrible, 10 being perfect. And it's interesting to hear their scores, because you'll see a lot of people that you're like, man, this person is so good. And if I had 10 more of these people, I would just be living high on the hog right now. Like, just not just monetarily wise, because their procedures and their work is helping you make more money. You're not having to redo things. You're not having to go over with labor second or third time. But they just get it. They get what we're trying to do. They can see it from different perspectives, and they realize, you know what, I'm here to do the right job. I'm gonna do the right job without someone looking over my shoulder, regardless if they're looking over my shoulder or not. You hired me to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. So those people, you'll be interested to hear, sometimes they'll grade themselves like a 7, or even they'll be hard on themselves, and you're like, you know what, I wouldn't agree with that. I would say you're probably more of a 9, and closer to a 10. And then you'll see the ones that are like, maybe not as good. Sometimes they'll immediately say, oh, I'm a 10, I'm perfect. Even though they maybe didn't show up to work the last 3 nights or whatever it may be. With our company, that wouldn't be a thing, because if it's a no-call, no-show, they're terminated. But you get the gist of that. And then the follow-up question from that we ask is, how could you improve? Another telltale question there that you can, people taking a personal responsibility, taking accountability. We love to see that kind of stuff, because you will see in our company, I will take responsibility and I will take accountability. I'm the first one to say I messed up, and I love to see that from our team. If we have someone out there that's like, no, I'm perfect, I can't do anything wrong, that gives me reason for concern. I love to see people that can take accountability and say, you know what, I did do something. I did mess up there. I apologize. I love to see that. Because we're not perfect. None of us are. And we all make mistakes. Okay? All right. And then last but not least, we always ask, what are your personal goals and how can we help you achieve them? And again, people, these are just our questions. You guys can ask whatever you want, but I think having these regular, review sessions is so telling for your team, because it's interesting to get the answers that they give and to hear, the reflections of their voice, and really be able to dial in like, oh, wow, our systems aren't as maybe dialed in that category as I thought they were. And yeah, I could definitely help you in this area for sure. And then we have, areas where there's a metric basis to their reviews. So we measure their quality. We measure the variances of their jobs. We measure their attendance. We even measure their core values when it comes to their overall score. So we have good metrics involved in this to then bring them to what their raise is going to be, or if there's going to be a raise. We're a performance-based company. If you just because you've been here a period of time doesn't guarantee you a raise. You have to be performing. And that's the thing, you get a good opportunity to meet with all your employees, all your teammates, and you get to see, hey, you're doing fantastic. You are hitting all these metrics, amazing. Let's give you a good raise. Teammate number 4 or whatever, or Timmy or whoever, or Susie, your metrics are lacking. Your quality is down. Your attendance. We've had to find your coverage when you've called out several times, and some of your teammates don't really like working with you because you're a drama case when you come to work. Those are the things that come into play again to say, you know what, we're going to keep you where you're at. And next time, this next 90-day reviews, these are the things you can work on. And if they work on it and they get better, heck yeah, give them a raise. But give raises based on performance, not based upon seniority. Anyways, again, I hope these things are, you can take them for what they are. Hopefully you can take some golden nuggets out of what I'm talking about today, because I know it helps our company, and I love to meet these teammates, and I know it helps us dial in our processes even more. And you know me, I'm all about systems and processes. And I love to take action quick. I hate big bureaucracies that they talk about taking actions or hypothetical things that they could do. No, you take the answers and the notes that you're taking from these teammates that you're writing down, because we have a spreadsheet of all the stuff that we're talking to each one about. We're taking notes, the stuff that they're saying and telling us. We're taking notes, and then we're taking action. I want quick action taken to the things that we're talking about. And I can't stand it when, we have things assigned and we're like, okay, this is the things we need to take action on. And then, 2 months later, it still hasn't been done. And that's where you need to look at your admin and be like, okay, what's happening? Why isn't this thing being done? And, look at metrics there. So at the very end, go out there, know that this is important to your team, for them to see you guys, for them to have those reviews, and for them to have a voice. Again, have yourself a great week. Be happy, be grateful, and find opportunities to serve others. You have so much to be grateful for, guys. So much. So try not to be down. It is. If you focus on the things that are negative and what the bad things that are happening in your life's going to have that trend. But if you're focused on the things that you're grateful for and the things that you're excited about, you're going to see that upward trend. I promise you. So, adios. Have a great week.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.